Okay, Jim, are you ready to record?
Yeah, I had to take the hosting back from you, and then I hit record, so it should be recording now.
Okay. All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our second webinar on hosted by Member Recognition on the awards system. My name is Cheryl Newberry, and I am your National Member Recognition Chair, and I look forward to sharing information with you over the next hour about our awards proposal system to help you get up to speed on how you will be submitting awards this year and give you some insight into how to complete that process by demonstrating the new awards proposal system, and we'll get started from there. So here's an overview of what we will be covering today. I'm going to share the website where you will access the awards information and the details on the criteria for each of our different types of awards, communicator, specialty, and service awards. And I'll also talk about the First Time Attendee Scholarship Award as well. We'll address which awards are judged at the state and national level only, and which awards actually have money attached to them. And then we'll demonstrate the Openwater online submission system, talk about some of the features of that system, and then actually demonstrate how you actually go about entering your award applications into that system. We'll touch just a bit on how awards will be judged for those of you who might have responsibility for having awards judged at the state level, or if you're a working group or committee chair who is responsible for having an award judge. We'll touch on that, and I'll share a date for another training that we'll have specific for judging in January. Again, if you have any questions, please pull up the chat box and you can type those into the chat box, and Jim can stop me at any time that we have any questions that need to be addressed pertaining to what we're talking about. Or if it's something that I'm going to be covering a little bit later, then I may say, we'll get to that in just a minute, hold that question, and we'll come back to it. So with that, let's get started. So the first thing is, this is the website link, and I will be taking you to that link later on for where you will access the awards online submission system. This is our main website page on the NAE4-HA page, and all of the links will come off of that page to get you access to the online submission system. So as we talk about the just general eligibility requirements to apply for awards, we want to talk through that just to make sure everybody's on the same page. So active and life members are eligible to submit awards. Most all of our awards require that you have to have been a member the year prior to, so that would be 2018, and then the current year, which will be 2019, by January 31st, which is our cutoff date for national membership. So those are most of our awards have that requirement. Some of the service awards have additional years of service as a member that are required, and we'll get to that in a moment. And then the criteria is slightly different for first-time attendee, and we'll address that as well. If you are submitting an award that is a multi-state entry, the person submitting the award should come from the state and region from which the majority of the applicants are from. So if you have one person from the western region that is a part of a team with a group of people from the southern region, then someone within the southern region would need to apply for that award and include all of those team members, even if they're outside of your region. Some additional material information. The submissions for awards will close at 8 a.m. Eastern on March the 2nd, 2019. That will give all of our time zones plenty of time, all the way through March the 1st, up until 8 a.m. on the 2nd, to submit your applications online. There will be no extension of the application process for late entries, and any applications that come in that have not met all of the required criteria or attachments or letters of reference or anything of that nature will be disqualified. Each member will have to submit separate award submissions for each award that you plan to apply for. And the work pertaining to the award that you're applying for must be produced within the last year. So January 1st through December 31st, 2018 is when the work should have been completed. Some awards may specify that the work could have been completed within the last 5 years because it may be a longer term program. So if that is the case, the criteria for those specific awards would supersede this particular description. You may not enter the same class in consecutive years if you won the national award. That does not apply if you were a state winner or a southern region or a regional winner. Only if you won a national award can you not apply for in the same category again the very next year. There are some awards that state that you can only win that award one time. And so pay attention to those details as well. There's a couple of those that are in place as well. You cannot use the same exact application to submit for more than one award category. So for example, in the Communicator Award, if you were wanting to apply for one particular award and use the same application to apply for another Communicator Award or for a specialty award, that needs to be, you need to do different applications for those things. It might be similar content. Perhaps the photo that you submitted for a Communicator Award may have been something that was included in an educational publication or something of that nature, but it can't be the identical applications. And we will try to enforce strictly the rules and guidelines for each of the awards applications. That'll be up to the states, starting at the state level for state judging to enforce those rules and guidelines on up through each level of competition. Team awards, the person applying must be a member of NAE4-HA to apply. The system will not allow for non-NAE4-HA members to apply, so you need to make sure that whoever's applying, especially for team awards, that the person submitting is a current member of NAE4-HA for the 2019 year and the previous year. So one thing that we have changed this year is the team awards are limited to a total of 10 members on the team. That's the applicant plus 9 other people. And so for those folks that might be thinking about team awards, you need to be mindful of that as you prepare your applications for team awards. Once you submit that application, final application is submitted and it's no longer able to be edited. You will not be able to add other team members if you left someone off the list. So make sure that your team list is comprehensive and you've gotten everyone's information entered. Otherwise, once it's submitted, it won't be able to be edited. All of our national awards are presented at the NAE4-HA conference during the recognition banquet. The regional awards are presented at each appropriate regional event, whether that's a brunch or a breakfast or whatever the host. Oh goodness, sorry. Get back to the right slide. So anyway, regional breakfasts or brunches, regional awards will be presented there. And then, of course, states are responsible for giving recognition for state winners. That last bullet says, unless stated in specific awards information, communicator and specialty awards will be judged at all levels. And we're going to go through that list of those things that will be judged only at the state and national level in a moment. Jumping right into the Communicator Awards. Jim, do we have any questions so far?
No questions so far.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so the Communicator Awards is your opportunity to share information about materials that you're developing to showcase your programming efforts. The information that must be included in an abstract for each of the awards is your objectives, the target audience, the population that you're reaching, the publisher's requirements. So, for example, if you're submitting that publication to a journal or a magazine to publish, then that information from the publisher would be necessary to include. The methods that you used to develop that piece of communication, any production costs that might be associated with that promotional information, any impacts or results that, if there are any, perhaps that might be how many people you reached if you put that on a website, or it went out in a magazine subscription, something of that nature. Information on the role of the applicant that you had in the entry. And then any other additional information you feel might help to tell the story about that communicator piece that you're submitting in the award application. The abstract can be up to 3 pages max, which is an 8.5 by 11-inch page, 12-point font, and you can do single-spaced type on your 3 pages. There's 2 options when you go to enter your application online. You can choose to upload a document, that is that requirement of 3 pages, or you can choose to just copy and paste information or just type directly into a text box. And the maximum number of words that are allowed in that text box is 1,500 words, which is about the same amount of space as if you typed 3 pages of single-spaced type. So you have options there to just upload a document, or you can actually enter into a text box, and we'll talk a little bit more about the advantages and disadvantages of those in a moment. Any additional requirements for each award are outlined on the score sheet, and I'll show you the document where you can see the score sheets in a moment. And then an example of your work for that specific award category is required. So if you did an educational piece and it was a fact sheet, then the copy of the fact sheet would need to be, or the PDF document of the fact sheet would need to be uploaded as an attachment to, so that we could see the example of your work for each of those Communicator Award categories. Again, we want to encourage technology, so if you have podcasts, blogs, videos, or any other type of technological entry that would fit into the specific awards criteria for that particular category, you're welcome to incorporate those types of technology as well. Any questions on Communicator Awards?
Hey, Cheryl, we did have one question, but I think I answered it, and that was essentially that all the details that you're going over will be on the website. And I mentioned that we will have it on the website, and we also can make a copy of this PowerPoint available, the actual PowerPoint itself, for people if they wanted to have it available.
That's right, and I'll show you where you find those documents. They are already posted for you. I'll show you that when we get to the website in just a moment. Very good. Okay, let's go on to specialty awards. So with the specialty awards, the portion of the application is broken down into 2 sections. One is the abstract, which is a brief description, no more than 150 words, about your program. And then the narrative is specific things related to that particular award that is required information. And every award is slightly different based on the fact that we have a bunch of different groups that have established awards, and they each developed a criteria for their award. So the narratives, again, are very similar to the Communicator Awards. The narrative part can be up to 3 pages. Again, 8.5 by 11 pages, 12-point font, single-spaced, or you can enter the information into a text box. 1,500 words, again, is the max. Some awards require additional documentation, like a letter of support, sample materials of your work. And so if there's required documentation to be added to the application and it's not attached, it will be eliminated from judging. If it says it's required, it has to be there. Some say up to 3 pages of support materials. So, and some of them actually say any support material is optional, but some say up to 3 pages. So preferably I would encourage you to put at least 1 sample of documentation. You can upload that in 1 document, even if it's 3 different items, or you can upload each item separately. There'll be plenty of spaces there to upload individual documents up to the max allowed for each award. That'll make more sense when we get over to see the system. And again, we want to encourage technology, just like we did in the Communicator Awards. If you're incorporating any of those types of technology into your programming, we encourage you to include that in your application. So the items that, the awards that are only judged at the state and national level are these 4 awards: the Military Partnership Award, the Denise Miller National 4-H Innovator Award, the Life Member Award, and our Susan Barkman Research and Evaluation Award. And so those will be judged at the state level, and each state winner will automatically forward on to the national level for judging, and it will skip the regional level for judging. Typically these awards are there are not very many in those particular categories, and that's the way those partners have set those awards up to be judged. So that's that information there. The awards with money attached to them. The 4-H Military Partnership Award is sponsored by our Military Partnership Program. They provide a $1,200 travel stipend to the winner. The winner selected must attend the conference to receive the award. They do not receive that travel stipend if they do not attend the conference. And so folks who are interested in applying for that need to make sure that they're able to come to the conference so that we can have representation from our Military Partnership Program, because they do come and present that award on stage directly to their honoree. So that's important to know about that award. The Beyond Youth Leadership Award is a $1,000 sponsorship by National 4-H Council. This one also requires either attendance at the conference or a video of the program. That video is used, it can be used in a couple of different ways. It may be used by the Youth Empowerment Working Group from the Programs Committee to highlight in a workshop that they plan and present. It could be used in a poster session that group may manage in the exhibit space. So there's a number of opportunities possibly for that video to be used at the conference. Again, that $1,000 can be used as the honoree prefers for travel or to reimburse themselves for travel once they receive that from National 4-H Council, or to extend their programming, whatever they want to use it for. Denise Miller National 4-H Innovator Award is a new one to us this past year. JSEP has sponsored awards at the JSEP conference in the past and has decided to provide funding to the association instead. and wanted it to be along the same lines of innovation as they had used before. And so that award has $250 associated with it as well. The Geospatial Programming Award has a $750 cash award associated with it. That's a specialty award. And then the Life Member Award is $500 to one of our life members who is still actively engaged in their community as a retiree. And our first-time attendee scholarship is the value of the early bird registration for the NAE4-HA conference. And a little more information about that award specifically. A conference attendee that attended previously as a guest and is now a member of NAE4-HA can apply for the First Time Attendee Award. So for example, if you were from Columbus, Ohio, and you were a brand new educator and you helped put on the award and you applied or you attended as a guest and were helping on a committee or whatever to facilitate that conference, and you joined for the 2019 year, then you would be eligible to apply for that award for the scholarship to attend the conference in 2019. The membership requirement for NAE4-HA is you have to be a current member for the 2019 year in order to apply for the award. You do not have to be a member the year previous to apply. So that is a help to our new members to encourage those that are interested in professional development at the national level to go ahead and get them engaged in the program and attend the conference their first year as a member. The First Time Attendee Award is judged by the regional directors. Has to be judged at the state level. Each state can submit one person forward for regional judging. They're judged at the regional level by the regional directors, and then those regional directors will notify the recipients of their being awarded the scholarship, and also notify those folks that were not selected. And if someone from those that are selected from a region is not able to attend the conference after all, then the regional directors can pull from their alternate list and contact the next person on the list and try to get those spots filled before early bird registration closes so that they can get registered. Or if it's after the fact, they could still register for the conference at the later registration fee, but they could still be reimbursed the early bird fee. So there are 4 scholarships per region, so a total of 16 scholarships that can be awarded for the First Time Attendee scholarship. And if you have questions about that, I'm happy to help answer those, but you can contact your regional director as well and follow up with them if you have more questions related to First Time Attendee. And that registration is reimbursed following the conference. It is not paid up front. Have to attend first and know that you've been there, and then you'll be reimbursed. Any questions, Jim, so far?
Yeah, we actually just did have 2 questions. One was, can a state only forward one onto regional judging? And then the other one was, does first time only cover registration? Which it does. It's only for just for the early bird rate.
Yeah.
And
Yes, it doesn't cover anything related to hotel or anything like that. It's just the conference registration fee, which last year it was like $475 that each of those recipients got back.
Correct. And then as far as, can a state only forward one onto regional judging?
Yes, that's correct. This year it is 1 per state. I know we've had the discussion a little bit, but didn't get anything accomplished this year. I know the RDs are working on, if a region doesn't have 4 applicants total, can a state submit a second application? And so they're working on revisions for next year on how that might happen. Maybe a state could submit forward an applicant to be judged and maybe an alternate if they have more than one application, but that's up to the RDs to fine-tune that and get that information back to us so that we can implement that for next year. Okay, let's talk a minute about service awards. The selection process for service awards is completely different than our other two categories. States are responsible for collecting applications in whatever nature they deem necessary for judging service awards in their state. And then the state member recognition contacts, once those service award winners are selected at the state level, will be responsible for entering information for selected winners by April 1 on this same website, and you'll be able to see that in a moment. The service awards information that is required for the state contacts to put in is, of course, just basic contact information for the recipients, and then a 25 to 50 word biographical summary that we'll print in the program, and a digital photo, preferably a high quality headshot, not just a snapshot at the family picnic or whatever of the honoree, if you know, just as best as we can, a nice digital photo that we can use in the PowerPoint and the printed program. Again, anything that's not entered into the system by April 1 will not be recognized. And so that's also a strict deadline. That system will shut down April 1 for the service awards. The criteria for the specific service awards, some of this information is going to be pretty repetitive, so I'll go through this fairly quickly, and then you'll be able to see the details in a document as well, like the other awards. ASA, or Achievement in Service, requires 2 years of membership prior to the current year, so really 3 years of membership. They must have served no more than 3 years, or let's see, they must have served at least 3 years and not more than 7 years in extension as an extension employee. And the number of ASAs that a state can award is based on membership on January 31st, 2019. So, for example, if a state has 100 members, and that is active members and living life members, on January 31st, then they could award 2 ASAs. So 50, for every 50 paid members, you can award 1 ASA award. The same is true for DSA. On the number of DSAs that can be awarded is based on membership. For every 50 members, you receive 1 DSA that can be awarded. The number of years of membership is the same, 2 consecutive years prior to the current year. And then the years of service and extension is more than 7 years of extension 4-H youth development programming. So those are the difference. There's the stair step from 3 to 7 years, and then DSA is 7 or more years. MSA is.
I do have a question for you.
Okay.
Related to the I believe it's the DSA 3 year. Which one has the 3 years? ASA. It's asked. The question was is it 3 years by the time the conference is held, or by what time?
That's 3 years period. So if you started your extension career in January of, what would that be? 2000. Let's say January of 2013. Then in January of 2019, you would have 6 years in. So from whatever your start date is, you have to have completed at least 3 years.
Gotcha.
Does
Okay.
that make sense? And that'd be for all of these awards.
Right. So it's their years of service.
Yes. Years of service. That's not based on that. Those numbers aren't based on your membership. The first bullet is based on your membership in the association.
Gotcha. And the question was asked, even if you switch states?
Well, as long as, I mean, if you have a break in service and you stay out for 5 years, I'm not sure how to answer that question.
right? Because it's awarded per state.
Right.
Yes, that would be my gut feeling. This does not carry over from state to state.
Right. Okay, moving on to MSA. So this one has a little bit different criteria as far as how many years you must have been a member of the association. This one requires 5 years, 4 consecutive previous years, and then the current year. It also has requires 15 or more years of extension 4-H youth development programming. And then the MSA is different in that it requires that the honoree have received the Distinguished Service Award in a previous year. So if you have not won Distinguished Service Award, that would be the award you would need to apply for and win before you can receive the MSA award. Sorry, I keep hitting the wrong button here. And then MSAs, states are allowed 1 MSA award per state per year. So this one is a little bit different from the other 2 that we've talked about. The 25 years of service, again, has the same number of years of membership requirement, 4 consecutive years and the current year, so 5 years total. And then this one is to honor all of our extension professionals that have served 25 or more years in extension 4-H youth development programming. There is no limit on how many 25-year awards a state can award. We feel like you've earned it if you've worked 25 or more years and given that time to extension and 4-H youth work. So again, no limitation on how many 25-year awards a state can award. Any other questions? Okay. So switching gears over to some of the features of the submission process in our Openwater system. First of all, the good news is that both our awards system and the seminar proposal system will be completed through the same process now through Openwater. They are currently working on getting the seminar proposal system updated. Priority was the awards program because there's a lot more information to have to put in for awards than there is for seminar proposals, but they are building that session right now and have will be reviewing that with that committee next week, I believe. My understanding is that the system, the Openwater system, will be connected with your membership profile, which is your member profile for NAE4-HA, and some of the fields should autofill for you. However, I'm not able to see that completely because we're still in the testing mode. So we're still working on making sure that feature will be working properly when it's time to open the award system. Again, our narrative, for the narrative part of your awards or the meat of your award application, can be uploaded in as a file, or it can be typed in a text box, as I mentioned earlier, and any file type can be uploaded. If it's a PDF, it's a Word document, a video file, an audio file, a Excel file, a JPEG, a GIF, or whatever it is that is appropriate for the type of document you need to attach, you can use any type of file type. However, the file size is limited to 20 megabytes per file, but I would dare say there's probably not something out there that would meet that max requirement, and if it does, you might have to break it down into several different files or put it on a website where you can link to it or something, but I think you should be okay for the file size there. Another feature is the award application. Once it's submitted, final submission, you can view, print, or copy those applications, and I'm going to demonstrate that in a minute to show you what I mean by that. Features of judging. This year, we can possibly judge paperless. However, I know I myself, if I were judging, will probably print things out and look at them and then go back to the online system and put my scores in, because I'm just built that way, and I like to be able to lay things side by side and look at them, and you can't really do that online. So, but judges will have access, be granted access to the categories that they will be judging. We have started the process. I've already sent out this morning the email to the regional contacts to start gathering information from the state member recognition contacts, the judges' names and emails for the category, all the awards categories that we have. And so we're gonna work on that. This is going to be a learning curve for all of us, doing judging online, but we will work through it, and we'll get it done this year and be able to improve from year to year on this process. But just know that this will be a process that will require judges to access the Openwater website and to be able to see the applications that they're going to judge and to score online. So I just mentioned I'd sent out information to the regional folks to gather judging assignments from their state contacts. Those spreadsheets will be due back by February 1st. The regional contacts and any working groups or committees that are responsible for having awards judged will also be receiving spreadsheets specific for the regional level and the national level to send me those judges' names back as well, so that we can enter all those judges and the categories that they're to judge into the award system. We have scheduled a webinar for January the 7th at 2 p.m. Eastern for any state contacts, regional chairs, or any other working group committee chairs that are responsible for assigning judging or managing the judging process for an award. And we'll go over in more detail how that process will work, what the system will look like when you log in to see your categories that you're responsible for judging, and all of that information. So we've gotten that website date scheduled and are in the process of getting that information out. It is on the calendar where you can go ahead and register if that's something you're responsible for. And I'll show you the calendar here in just a moment. Okay, let me stop sharing this screen. Jim, any questions while I switch gears here?
Yeah, so there was just one quick question, and I think you'll go over this in just a bit, but it's the timeline in terms of for how long people will have to judge.
Oh, that's a great question. So state awards, sorry, switching gears here. The state awards have till April 1st to complete judging. Regional awards have till May 1st to complete judging. And national awards have till June the 1st to complete judging. That's an excellent question.
Somebody also asked, are there examples of winning awards from the past that we can look at?
Jim, can you answer that question? I'm not sure there's any up there right now.
Yeah, there haven't been. Unfortunately, with being on an old system, it wasn't very easy to do that. But that is one of the things that, you know, with this system that we're going to be able to do is have the ability to download PDFs of all the awards, so that actually winning awards, we'll be able to actually have those PDFs made available so that people can actually see what might have won in previous years.
Right. Okay, so can you all see the NAE4-HA website? Jim?
Yep, it looks good.
Okay, so just FYI, so here's the calendar section. And if you see right here on January 7th, 2019 is the new webinar that we have scheduled. And if you click on that link, it will take you to the calendar where you can actually register for this webinar, and you'll get an email with the link to the Zoom session so that you can have that on your calendar. So that is how you register for the webinar. The second thing is, here is how you will access the awards program or awards website. Right here, if you go to awards and then you just go to the first one, which is application, this will take you to our main awards web page. Again, here are actually the slides in a PDF format from our webinar on the 5th. I've updated it slightly since then to add the first-timer stuff. I don't think that's included in this webinar or in this PDF, and so we can update that today after this seminar is over. Again, other additional information is here for you. Probably here in this area is where the link to the Openwater system will be. So you'll come to this page to click on a link that will take you to the Openwater system. The awards criteria and score sheets are already here posted for you. So if you click on, I'll just open the Communicator Award so you get a feel for what you're going to see. Here's all that general information for the Communicator Awards, and then the specific entry information that's required in the abstract for the Communicator Awards, all the award categories, and then here are the score sheets for each of those categories with the required information, any additional information that's required, such as an example of the program, the material that you've created. So anyway, all of those score sheets are there for you.
Hey, Cheryl, we did have a real quick question. The question was, when we submit judges, will they judge more than our state entries?
No, state member recognition contacts will only be assigning folks to judge their state awards. The regional chairs, the member recognition regional chairs will be assigning people to judge regional awards. And so there may be people from your state who may get asked to judge regional awards. So, and there may be some overlap there of the same people judging awards, but that's not assigned by the state. It's assigned by the regional chairs. And then the national level awards could potentially be different people as well. So does that answer the question? I know that's kind of
I think that sounds pretty clear.
Vague. Okay. So here's the PDF of the specialty awards criteria. This is a little bit different in that there's a description, and then following this description is the score sheet. So just be sure you read thoroughly to make sure you're following the criteria specific to each award, to make sure you're not missing information that needs to be included for your application. The first-time attendee scholarship criteria and score sheet is the next one, and then the service award criteria is also provided for you there. This one, the last one, NAE Awards at a Glance, is a little bit different. It's in a Word document, in a table, and it's designed really for the state member recognition chairs to be able to use to add their state awards. If they have additional awards that are just state-only awards, then they could use this document and add those state awards to it. It's just kind of a general overview of the general eligibility requirements for each award and what the submission requirements are. So we've got the service awards, the specialty awards, and all of each one of those has their own line with details about those awards. And then sorry, I'm going so fast, and then we get down to the Communicator Awards, and then the first-time attendee is also listed at the very end. So that's a document really more so for those state folks to be able to use and edit if they need to add state awards.
Hey, Cheryl, we had a question here, actually two questions it looks like. It says, will we have to know which awards our judges will be judging when we submit their contact information, or can we sign that later after we know which awards we have submissions for?
You will have to assign them their categories. And so the spreadsheet that I sent to the regional chairs today to work with their state contacts to get each state's list of judges has all of the categories, all of the awards listed in the first column, and then a column that says Judge 1 name, Judge 1 email, Judge 2 name, Judge 2 email, Judge 3 name, Judge 3 email. And our preference is that you have at least 2 people judge each award category. So if you're using the same 2 people to judge all of Communicator Awards, you're just simply going to copy those email names and emails to all of the lines for those Communicator Awards. If you have the same 2 people or 3 people judging specialty awards, then you would just copy their name and email to all of those lines. But yes, we need those judges to be assigned specifically. Otherwise, it's going to take a lot longer to work that out and figure out, and we need that information by February 1 so we can get all those judges assigned in March and ready to go when we close the system and send those invitations to those judges on the first couple of days in March.
Okay, and I think you kind of answered the question, this next question asks, so do the members that judge our state awards have to sign up on the website, or is it just for regional and national awards judging? And I think you kind of answered that with the spreadsheet.
Right, yeah. The state member recognition contacts will be responsible for submitting the names of their judges back to their regional chairs. That email went this morning to the regional chairs for them to communicate that information to their state contacts. So they just got it this morning. So don't panic if you haven't gotten it yet, if you're a state contact. Okay, I'm going to switch over to the award system. This is what the website will look like when you click on the link from our awards page. This is what the home page looks like. So as you can see across here, the menu bar here has our NAE4-HA Awards section and the conference proposal section. So you can see both of these systems are in place in this one Openwater system. So when you go to do your awards, you're going to click here and go to the welcome page. There's some additional, go to the welcome page. Oh, there it goes. It's taking a little bit. There's a little bit of additional information on the welcome page for awards, just to tell you, remind you of the due date, how to access the application. So that paragraph there specifically gives you instructions on specialty and communicator awards. If you go back up here to the menu bar and go to the awards application, you'll be able to see here's the link to the Communicator Awards application, to the Service Awards, and to Specialty Awards. So, sorry, let me go back to my welcome screen. There's a specific item here about the Service Awards that you need to contact your state awards chairman for instructions on submitting those, that only the state awards chairman will be using this link to enter service awards by April the 1st. So that's an important note on that homepage that you need to make sure your members know and understand that about service awards. And then first-time attendee, those scholarship applications are included in the specialty award category. So when you go here, they're going to be in this section. And those awards are listed in alphabetical order, so it's just amongst the specialty awards. So that's a little overview on the home page, the landing page for awards. Then you've got a little menu bar over here that's pretty easy to navigate. This part tells you about the applications that you have in progress, meaning you started and saved information, but you've not completed those applications, or applications that you've completed and submitted and you can no longer edit. Okay, so it's a couple of different ways you can get to your applications. You can go click directly here on these links and it will take you to the page. This one I clicked on in progress. These are applications that I've started but I've not finished. Here's the category And here's the edit button where you can edit it. If you started an application by mistake, you can just click on remove to have that application deleted. And we would prefer that you please clean up your application. If you go and every time you click on start a new award, it's going to put something here. So if you start 3 awards, one award every time you log in, if you've logged in 3 times, you can edit each of those applications and customize them for whatever awards you want to apply for. But if you have some that are incomplete, please delete them before March the 2nd. That will just help us to make sure that we're not processing anything that's incomplete. You can also access these the applications in progress or your completed applications from your account button here. Looks the same as here. So it's just multiple ways that you can get to that information. So let's go into the Communicator Awards page so you can see what the page looks like. So the general information for the Communicator Awards is all listed here right on the front. So you have access to that here. To apply for an award, you're just going to simply click on this link right here. Click here to apply. And this will take you to this page. If you've submitted an application already or have any in progress, then this screen will pop up and you'll either click on review past submissions, meaning those things that well, let's click on it. I think that's, okay. This is just extra steps. You can submit or look at applications you have in progress, which takes you to the same page as this link does, or completed applications, which takes you to this page. So on the previous page, it had begin a new submission. So if you don't want to look at your old stuff because you're starting a new application, then you're just going to click here on submit new, begin a new submission. And this is what a blank application looks like for Communicator Awards. So you'll simply pick from the drop-down menu the application, the award category that you want to enter an application for. And if you have autofill, or if we're connected to the your membership correctly, then all of this should fill in for you. You should be able to type your name in, and then your other information should autofill. So let me get this application. I'm going to do this 2 different ways. I'm going to show you, no, this is not a team application. So you don't have any team members to enter. So you save and go to the next page. And then here is the instructions again for the material or the information that needs to be included in your abstract. And then it asks the question, do you want to do a file upload or do you want to do a text field? So if you click file upload, it gives you an opportunity to choose a file and add that file to the document. So you can type this in Word and save it as Word or PDF or whatever and just upload it up to 3 pages, remember? Or if you click text box, then you can simply type in that text box up to 1,500 words or copy and paste information into that. And then supporting documentation, we need examples of your work, whatever Communicator Award that you've applied for, and so you can upload that file here. If you just click save, it'll put it on that list. Now you have 5 in progress because you've just saved this information. If you hit save and next and you go to the last page, you're going to mark yes or no that this award can be shared with other NAE4-HA members if you're a national award winner, and that this application is complete to the best of my ability, and I understand that once I hit submit, I can't go back. So if we hit submit and we save and finalize, then it's going to ask one more time, are you sure you want to submit? Because this is your last point of no return. If you hit OK, then it changes this screen from 5 in progress to back to 4, and now we have 5 complete awards. Okay, so that's how that system works there. So if you go to in progress, those applications that you have that you're working on, if you click on edit, you can see pretty easily. It's very easy to go back in and make any edits to your application. If you decide you want to enter it as a text field, you just simply change it to text field instead of file upload and hit OK, and it'll change it over to that abstract where you can cut and paste or type in that text box. So that's pretty easy. If you made a mistake and uploaded the wrong thing, all you have to do is hit the delete button here, and it'll ask you, are you sure you want to delete this item? And you say yes, and then you can choose the file that you really want to upload, and it'll upload a new file for you. Okay, so I'll just leave that one in pending. Okay, let's go look at completed awards. I want to show you the feature about print, view, and copy. So here's what I've got some open already. Some of these already open. So if you selected to upload a file for your abstract and your this is a Communicator Award, so it's just the abstract and then your supporting documentation. This is all the basic contact information in your application, and when you get down to the abstract and the supporting document, you'll see the information. If you just uploaded a document, the document itself isn't a part of the application. You still have to download additional files. So you can see the advantage for someone who's judging for the abstract to be copied and pasted into a text box. Because here's an example of one that was done in a text box. Oh, I might have told you. Oh yeah, here it is. So I typed in a text field, and so the word text, the abstract, would be printed here for you, and then all you have to download is the supporting documentation. So there is an advantage for someone who's judging for the abstract and for specialty awards, the abstract and the narrative, to be typed in as opposed to attachments added. That's less work for a judge to have to deal with. So think about that as you're preparing your applications, that you might want to encourage folks to just copy and paste that information into the text box as opposed to attaching files, because then that's just more things for judges to have to open to review. Okay, any questions about what an application looks like or how to fill them out? Okay, so the view is simply just looking at that application. It looks exactly the way it does when you filled it out online, and you can page through the application to see what all you entered. So it's just an easy way for you to be able to see what it is that you did. The third feature is called copy. And this could be very handy. So if you're doing multiple Communicator Awards, you could take the first application that you did, which was on my screen, Educational Package Team, and you could copy this award, and it's going to copy everything over to a new application. you simply change the category that you're applying for and make a copy, and then on your screen in progress you will see a new application here, 5. It's gone from 4 to 5, so now you have a new application, and you can update this application just by paging through to the second page and changing your abstract, either uploading or texting or typing in the text field the new information for this particular award, and then replacing this attachment with the new documentation that you need. So that is a shortcut. You don't have to do that, but it is a shortcut way to duplicate an application and just change the category. So just another feature of the program. One thing that I did not show you that I want to make sure everybody sees is on this NAE4-HA Awards tab here at the top of the Openwater page, there is a link for award criteria, and this is those same PDF documents for the Communicator Awards criteria and score sheet, the Specialty Awards, First Time Attendee, and Service Awards. So all 4 of those documents are linked here back to our NAE4-HA page, so you can get to those in 2 different places as well. And if you're assigned judges, you'll have a judging assignment here. I'm not going to go into that today because the majority of folks are not going to be assigned to judge, but that's what that webinar on January 7th will cover, more details about this judging assignments tab and how judging process will work. Questions?
You're doing pretty good now, Cheryl. No questions.
Woo-woo! Okay, let me go back to my PowerPoint here right quick. Okay, so I'm here if you need me. My email is there on the screen for you. Again, if you have awards questions, you can email myself, or you can email Jim or John at the national office as well. You can also direct questions to your state member recognition contacts or the regional chairs. And if they don't know an answer, they can certainly contact me as well. But feel free to reach out to me directly if you need to, if it's related to specifically to our NAE4-HA Awards. I won't be able to help you if it's a state-specific award, but I will do my best to help you in any way I can.
Hey, Cheryl, your page showing your email address isn't showing up for some reason.
Oh. Okay. Well, I'll give it to you.
I can type it into the chat box too while you.
Yeah, that's Cheryl.Newberry at okstate.edu. I don't know why that's not sharing. Oh, how about that? Did that work?
There you go.
Okay, I selected the wrong thing on the share. So thank you all for joining today. I appreciate it, and please let me know how I can help. And those of you that will be responsible for assigning judges, join us on the 7th of January. We'd love to have you. We will definitely record that session as well, so if you are responsible for that and you're not able to attend, we'll post that recording so that you can view that, or feel free to reach out if you need help. Those of you that are state contacts, watch for an email from your regional chairs on that spreadsheet. They'll be sending that out to you, so you can start the process of getting your judges recruited. Okay, I guess we'll stop recording.
Fantastic.
Have a great day.
Thanks, guys.